topic: 7 major complaints that husbands have about their wives. And it's an interesting topic because oftentimes wives do not know that they are having issues, and that these husbands are complaining about these things. And if you know a problem, it's you halfway towards solving it and doing your own bit to know that you salvage this and you make the best of your marriage. So one of the major complaints is communication issues. Most men complain that their wives do not get to communicate what their needs are. They don't get to express themselves in a way that their husbands can understand what are the issues with them and know how best to solve and relate well with them. If you're having a bad day and say your husband asks you, how was your day? Some could just say, fine. Meanwhile, they want more attention. If you need more attention, look for ways to communicate that in a better way. Another major communication issue that men complain about is nagging. The Bible describes this as a constant ripping of the roof, and it says it's better for someone to live on a corner part of the house than to live with a contentious woman that is a nagging wife. So it's a turner for most men, and they complain about that. And if you get to overstress an issue, it becomes nagging to a point, and most men tend to shy away from that or become defensive when you are constantly nagging about an issue. So it's best to just talk about it, then let it be if you need him to change about that. Then the second one is financial disagreements. Yes, coming into marriage, most people have different ideologies, or most people have different perceptions of how money should be saved, what strategies you need, and how to spend it. It's best you have a common ground, know what your spouse wants, and how you can work on saving, spending, and what you are investing, how you're channeling what your investment goals are. It will help the marriage again. So it helps when you are on the same page. Most men complain their wives are not probably the saving time, or they are more on the spending time. Try to find a balance. What works for your family? Remember, what works for this family might not work for this family. Then another major complaint men have are differences in intimacy needs. Remember, the major aim of marriage in some cases one of the major aims is companionship, and you are going into it and two shall become one. The Bible says, and they were both naked and not ashamed. That's it. Okay, so for you as a couple, how do you meet your needs? Most men complain that their needs are unmet and their wives do not bother about this. So for you as a wife, find out what are your husband's needs. Okay, if let's say it's on the high side, what can you do to preach it? What can you do to make sure his needs are met and your own needs are also communicated in a way that he also meets those needs? So the differences in needs, you could be your demands could just be lower than his and all that. Then try to find how to make a balance. Remember, the Bible says your body is no longer yours, his is no longer his. You are there for companionship, and you should see how make sure that these needs are well met as well. Okay, the next one is lack of appreciation. Most men complain that their wives, no matter how the efforts they put in, their wives do not appreciate them. They are constantly nagging, and they don't take time to see that they've put in that effort. So dear wife, it is left for you to take time and see that, appreciate your husband even for the little he provides. It might not be as much as you want. When you take your time to encourage, appreciate him for the little he brings in, he would want to do more. In Igbo, they say there's an adage that when you think, there's the urge to do more. Okay, so try to appreciate the little efforts that he puts in, their wife. Another one is most men complain that their wives are not supportive. supportive, emotional support, physical support. And we see that most women fall short. Most women fall short of that. Most wives fall short of that. What are you doing to encourage his dreams? What are you doing to support his dreams? It could just be emotional when he's going through a tough time. What are you doing to see that, oh, I'm present with you as you're going through this? It could just be you being there, being understanding, being encouraging. He wants to know that he has a wife who is supportive, who is together with him on a journey. Not that he's in a marriage and he feels as if both of you are just living independent lives or probably just sharing a roof together. So be there as a supportive wife. Offer advices, or offer counsel, offer a shoulder to cry on. Okay, do not be first to point out mistakes or weaknesses or labelings. Okay, just be there when you need to and listen. Offer that listening ear and do your best as a wife. Then another issue, that's the seventh one, that most men complain about are the different parenting styles. Most men complain that either their wives are too strict, which they feel, oh, you could work on it, or they are being too lenient with the children. Yes, this is just something both of you need to sit down and say, oh, we could actually work on this. Probably we could find a balance. If he says you're too strict, how can I be more loving, that you are also not speaking above the children's heads, they are also listening, and that you are being a better parent at that. So your different parenting styles could be worked on, and both of you could do better at being better parents. So find a middle ground, what works for you, and also have a united front with your spouse on your parenting style with the children. Not that the husband says a different thing, the wife says a different thing. You tend to confuse the children, and they tend to go with who they assume is on their own side, and it is not good for the family in the long run. And the last but not the least is household responsibilities. Most men complain that at times they come in the house, the responsibilities, probably keeping the home, keeping the household, those needs are not being properly taken care of by the wife. Okay, it's her responsibility to see that these things are met. If the household responsibilities are shared, make sure you do your own part and that you communicate who does what. If this person is cooking, the spouse is cooking, whoever is cooking, however you want to deal with that, how are you handling it together? Let it not be that it is one-sided. Probably the man is doing more or the wife is doing more while the man is not. So find what works for you. What works for me might not work for you. Different strokes for different folks. So that's the major thing about it. Find what works for you and find how to reach a balance, that the responsibilities are not just left for one person. Okay, be it financial, be it taking care of the household and all that. Let it be that you also have a role to play, and you know your role and your responsibilities, and you sit up to it and do it. Are there other complaints that you feel that we could talk about in the Wives Lounge? Please leave a comment and let us know about it. Feel free to subscribe. We will keep learning and unlearning and seeing how we can be better wives. Till I come your way next time, I remain your host, Chinedu Mwokika. Thank you very much.